Hello everyone, my name is Pratap and in this video I'm going to talk about the importance of neutering cats, especially female cats like this one. Meet Pepper. Pepper was a stray cat until a couple of months ago. I started feeding her and then one fine morning she decided to bring 3 lovely kittens into my house. There's one over there, there's one here, and where's the third? So the third is hiding somewhere. This room is dedicated for the kittens. First, let's discuss why it's important to neuter cats, especially female cats. Pepper gave birth to 3 kittens. Usually the first litter has 3 to 4 kittens and they reproduce very frequently. So female cats can give birth to kittens every 6 months or so, or maybe even lesser, which means that if you don't neuter a female cat, the chances of the cat population increasing rapidly is very real. And although these kittens look cute, hello, and they're so chubby and fun to play with, as they grow up and as their population increases, it's a problem for not only them, for humans as well. Cats, being territorial creatures, start fighting for space, especially in urban areas. This also leads to human-animal conflict. You have cases of kittens entering houses, you have cases of dogs assaulting and killing kittens and even big cats. You have maimed cats roaming around in the streets. We don't want all these gory scenes in a civilized country. So it's a good idea to neuter cats. Female cat neutering requires a little extra amount of effort than a male cat neutering. For both cats, for both male and female cats, a fasting of 12 hours prior to the neutering operation is required. 12 hours before the operation, you feed the cat and then you don't feed any food or water. The cat has to have fasted for 12 hours. Now you must be wondering, how can I assure that a stray cat will not eat in those 12 hours? We will address those questions a little later. But for now, let's just look at the prerequisites. Now coming to the actual procedure, it's a little easier for male cats. I have one male cat that's already neutered outside the door. We'll meet him a little later. For female cats, the procedure is slightly longer because they're going to make an incision and remove the uterus from the tummy of the cat. This also means that after the surgery, a female cat needs at least 3 days of care. Cat shouldn't be running around for 3 days. It should be taken care of, preferably be kept indoors, etc. Whereas for a male cat, 1 day of post-surgery is enough. So this is the difference between neutering a male cat and a female cat. And after the neutering, for a female cat, there is a possibility that the doctor might ask you to take her back to the clinic to remove the stitches. So this depends on the kind of stitches that they put for the female cat, because they're going to make a big incision in the stomach. Alright, now let's address the question, how do I trap stray cats and get them neutered? Remember, this neutering is not just for cats that you look after at home, but it's also for stray animals, and it's more important for stray animals. Now, it's a very real problem. I have neutered, I think, 3 or 4 stray cats, and it's not easy at all. One thing that you can do to gain the trust of a stray cat is to feed it. So start feeding it maybe 2 or 3 weeks before the actual neutering process, so it gains your trust. Now some cats are very friendly, like this fellow here, this kitten here. Aside from this young age, he's very friendly, whereas that fellow there and his sister who's sleeping there, I found her, that golden boy and this white and grey girl, they're not so friendly. And when they grow up also, there is a possibility that they will remain unfriendly. In these cases, one thing you can do is, once you start feeding them and gaining their trust, you can slowly start introducing a cage like this one. This is a carrier, but you also get cages. Usually they are blue in color. So you can borrow one or you can buy one and slowly start feeding them inside the cage. So put the food inside the cage, and this way they will start entering the cage, get a little familiar with the cage or the carrier, and they won't be alarmed when one fine day you decide to close the door of the cage. So these are a couple of ways in which you can trap a stray animal and get them neutered. But there is a third process, and this is slightly a little more clever and cunning, and that is to use a special type of cage which has a trap door. So these are available for rent in Bangalore. You can get them from Cupa. I'll provide those details either at the end of the video or in the description of the video. You can rent those cages with trap doors, and the way it works is you put some food inside the cage, and when the animal enters the cage, the trap door closes. There's a trigger. Usually the trigger is when the animal steps on a plate beyond which the food is kept, and when that happens, the trap door closes shut. So the animal is trapped inside. And there are also one or two people who do this kind of trapping for you for a cost, and then you can send the animal to Cupa or any other veterinary clinic and get them neutered. Now in cities like Bangalore, there's also an option where you can send the cat to the vet place, and they will keep the cat for 3-4 days or whatever is required for the cat to be prepared for neutering and for the cat to recover from the surgery, which is important for female cats. Now I have addressed the ways in which you can humanely trap and get stray cats neutered. Now let's look at a few other aspects. What happens to a cat after it is neutered? Does its behavior change? Does it become less friendly? One thing I have observed personally, I'm not an expert, one thing I've observed personally is that the cat tends to be slightly lazy after neutering, because the only thing in life for them is to eat, sleep, poop. That's it. Before neutering, they also have to go look for mates, they have to take care of their babies, they have to fight for their territory. But post neutering, none of those associated problems are there. And if you're feeding them, they will grow nice and plump. So we'll meet the fatso outside. Sorry for body shaming him, but he has put on a lot of weight in the recent past after his neutering. That's how the behavior and the body structure of the cat changes after neutering. Beyond that, there are very few other changes. In fact, whatever changes are there, it's for the good of the animal. They don't get into territorial fights. In case you have a female cat at home, you don't have male cats entering the house, which happened recently before, just after she gave birth, because she was ready. She was in a heat cycle. She was ready for her next delivery. I had a male cat enter. I keep this window open. Remember, this room is for the cats and the kitten. So I had kept that window open. I have a CCTV monitoring all the activities here. So at night, in the dead of the night, a male cat entered, and then the female cat tried to chase him away. They almost got into a fight. Then Checkers, my male cat, he came and chased away the other male cat, and it was like a Kurukshetra over here. So all these problems are generally avoided when you neuter both male and female cats. Now, the other important question is, she's still feeding. Is it okay to neuter her? Well, the doctor said it's perfectly fine. These kittens are about 2.5 months old. I don't know when she gave birth to these kittens because I was not around when she gave birth. I did want to neuter her when I just started feeding her, but because of a few personal reasons, I couldn't. But the doctor says it's fine. Once the kittens are about 2.5 years old, it's okay to neuter them. And not all the 3 kittens feed. That guy, he's a little clingy with his mother, so he still drinks her milk, whereas this guy, he's very independent. She is also more or less independent, and she is actually ready for delivery again, in the sense that I think she's already mated, because a couple of days ago she went roaming. She was missing for some more than 48 hours, and then we had this incident where the male cat entered. I think she was in heat then, so maybe she's already impregnated, and she might give birth in another 2-3 months if I let it if I don't get her neutered. And for the reasons I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I think it's important to get cats neutered, so we don't have this litter of cute kittens multiplying every couple of months. It's time for the appointment. I've booked 11 o'clock appointment with the vet for her neutering. She's very hungry because I fed her at 11 at night, and now the task is to get her inside. She's going to be very agitated. She's got feral genes. She was a stray cat. She's missing a tooth. So she's fought some terrible battles when she was young. She's survived in the wild, and now she's very friendly and she's domesticated. But her feral genes are pretty strong, so she's not going to get into the cage easily. She's not going to stay in the cage, and as you can see, she already wants to go out. Let's end my talk over here, and let's get her into the cage and take her to the vet. So all of you meet Checkers. Nice fat boy he is, and he's a neutered cat, and he's a healthy baby. He recently got into a fight with some dogs, so he's got scratches and injuries, but he's recovering well. And he and Pepper, they're actually friends. So Checkers, say bye to Pepper, wish her good luck. Let's take her to the vet now. One tip that I have is, after you put the cat in the carrier or the cage, it's good to close the cage, cover it, so the animal does not have too much of external stimuli. She's already very agitated, like you see. She's trying her best to come out. I have covered this with a cover that I got made especially for this carrier, but you can use any cloth towel to cover the cage or the carrier. And I have to be a little careful so that she doesn't end up scratching me or something like that. So my car is outside, ready to go. Now I'll put this fellow outside, let him not stay inside, let the kittens be inside, that's fine. And let's get going to the vet. We are here at the vet. The cat is still in the car because I first have to confirm that they're going to honor my appointment. And let's get inside and find out if Pepper can get operated today. They just took Pepper's weight. The doctor is now going to give an injection to sedate Pepper before the surgery. Look at how expertly the helper is holding Pepper by the scruff of her neck so she does not wriggle out when giving the injection. It's been about 10 minutes after the anesthesia injection was given. Pepper has drifted off to sleep. As you can see, she's not responding to anything, and soon she'll be taken to the surgery room. Pepper is totally knocked out. It's about 11 o'clock. The surgery is going to start now. Okay, so the surgery is done and Pepper is out of the surgery room. As you can see, the doctor has patched up the place where her abdomen was cut open, and next we will go home and we will wait for Pepper to wake up from her anesthesia. I'm going to take out Pepper from the carrier and place her in a dark spot. In my house, the puja room is a dark spot. I'm going to place some newspapers, so in case she urinates without her knowledge, then the paper will soak it up. That happened with checkers. When they're still under the influence of anesthesia, they have no bladder control. And I should be a little careful on how I lift her out of the carrier because her insides have been cut open. I am holding her by the scruff of her neck and gently placing her on this basket so she can go to sleep. She's not completely awake, at the same time she's not completely asleep either, so she has no control over her senses. It's 2 p.m. now. The operation got over at about 12, and you can see that she's still not completely out of her anesthesia, but she's slowly waking up. It's 3 p.m. now. I'm feeding Pepper some wet food. She must be terribly hungry. She had her last meal at 11 p.m. last night and then the surgery, so she must be very weak and hungry. As you can see, she's gobbling up the food. She's much better in terms of her awareness. Her body movements are still not smooth, but she's slowly waking up. And this is her son, Kempanna, who is coaxing her to wake up, who's comforting her. Cats have this innate understanding of what's happening around them. They can sense a lot of things. Hi everyone. It's one day after Pepper's surgery. She's back to her normal self. Her appetite is still low, but that's fine. She's probably in a bit of pain. The doctor has prescribed antibiotics and medicines to apply on the wound, which is still covered by this patch. So once that patch falls off, I'll start applying the ointment, but I'm giving her the antibiotics and painkillers. And she and her kittens are back to their normal self. There is Millie sleeping on my shirt, and the other two boys are probably playing somewhere here, and there's checkers. Thank you for watching this video. I am honored if you actually stayed till the very end. Pepper has been a champ, and like Pepper, if you have a cat, especially a female cat, do get her neutered. See you in the next one. Bye bye.